I'm Elizabeth, and my passion for kueh began watching my mother craft Peranakan classics 5 days a week. I'm uncovering some of the best stories in kueh this city has to offer. I'm heading to the east to find a stall that has been a cornerstone of this neighbourhood. For 3 generations, the recipes for their iconic Peranakan kueh changs have remained unchanged.
These are pandan leaves, these are bamboo leaves, fold in.
Fold in.
I think you cannot put a lot of ingredients.
We do the same thing, but the result is like different.
So you want to scoop the meat and push it to the side of the bowl. Because when there's holes, rice will find its way inside the holes. Make sure you always maintain a V shape. V.
Yeah.
Pinch, break, fold, and go down. Then we want to do a live knot.
Learning to wrap kueh chang from Edmund is a real treat. It is an intuition based on decades of repetition, knowing by touch when the parcel is perfectly sealed.
I'm sorry, but I've been like waiting for this moment. It's comfort. The flavor is very wholesome.
This is a piece of wisdom passed down from Edmund's grandmother.
This business started off as a means for survival after the World War period, together with a maternal grandma, selling rice dumplings under a banyan tree to survive and bring the family up. Then when Singapore gained independence, the first batch of political leaders encouraged them to get a proper bank loan to service a shop house. And that's how my grandma started selling rice dumplings at 60 Joo Chiat Place. We continue to maintain our traditions. Techniques must be there, recipes must be kept.
Operations at Choo begin as early as 5 a.m. Kueh chang begins with leaves being soaked and scrubbed clean.
There's a lot more preparation work that requires planning. For rice, when we receive them, we have to label them and we have to condition them days before we actually wrap them. You need to know how to wrap it so that you have that texture. Sometimes people tell you, I want my rice dumpling, it feels like porridge. Because the wrapping process is wrong. So wrapping is really important.
Choo has over 7 different flavours of kueh changs. The filling is a rich, concentrated centre that, once wrapped and boiled, will melt outwards, seasoning the rice from the inside out.
When you chew it, it's soft and there's texture to it and there's flavour. Back in those days, there was only Nonya Chang and Ba Chang. Nonya Chang means our sweet one, and then Ba Chang is the salty one. The different varieties came about purely really through different points of crisis. There was the swine flu. Then we create chicken lah. There was the bird flu, vegetarian rice dumplings. So my parents, they innovated and they created new products. My grandma's message reverberates in us. Go through, don't worry,
And it gives you the strength and the courage and the resilience to move on.
That's right, yeah.
Now, to sweeter kueh that's creating quite the buzz in the centre of Singapore. This is Kueh Keria, a donut-like delicacy made of sweet potato. They are golden and coated in one of my most favourite sugars, gula Malacca.
Oh my goodness, I love the taste of the sweet potato.
This shop is the city's first to sell mini Keria gula Malacca owned by Fatin and Khalis. And it all began when Fatin had a huge craving.
Towards the end, like 3rd trimester, like a very strong crave for that specific Keria gula Malacca.
In Singapore, we don't get this Keria gula Malacca. So we really had to travel to Malacca to this famous Kueh Keria seller, and we actually queued for about an hour or so. And then she said, I'm still not satisfied.
It's okay.
That's when he actually said, you know what, just make your own lah. The traditional Kueh Keria is very doughy, but I wanted something more sweet potato-y, crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside.
Fatin spent 8 months of R&D to come up with a Keria that matched her pregnancy cravings. Today, Kay's Keria has a team behind her, baking an average of 3,500 Kerias per day. Preparation begins with sweet potatoes being steamed and mashed. Next, the bind, where flour gets added to the mash, a crucial step that determines if your first bite is pillowy. It is then shaped, poked to create that signature ring, and then fried to golden perfection.
Usually when we put in the Kerias, then it's at the base of the wok. So if it holds too long there, right, then it will burn the potato.
Surface.
So we have to really play by ear. You have to follow.
Easy.
It's never easy.
What does it mean to you to provide career to Singaporeans?
To keep the tradition,
Traditional.
right?
To have the next generation to come and know Korea is actually very nice.
Nice.
Yeah, and they come to know about like Singapore cultural food and everything, right?
Correct.
Through something that you all have created.
Fatin's story is proof that heritage doesn't just belong to the past. It can be written right now, if your cravings are strong enough. Next, I head west to Ghim Moh Hawker Centre. Heaven serve up putu mayam, a delicacy with origins from South India. Most enjoy it sweet with shredded coconut and orange jaggery sugar.
Freshly made putu mayam. This is something I've not tried before. Okay, you need to come here and try it. It's so soft.
Holding down the fort is Daniel, and he's bringing me behind the scenes to show me the secret of weaving that perfect lace-like texture.
So the dough is done. Texture is just right. It's a bit sticky. This is a putu mayam press. We fill it up about 3/4 full. You start from the center, then you go out, right? And then stop. That's it.
So pretty.
Right? You want to try?
Okay, yes, of course.
The fact that she can do it from the first go already shows she's a Kueh queen already. Good, very good already. A+.
Daniel inherited the business from his mother, who built the brand right here in the 1990s. But it was Daniel who decided to put putu mayam on the menu.
It took a long while before my mother trusted me with
To be able to
actual
fully
cooking.
serve the
Took
customers,
many
right?
years, yeah. There were a lot of people who were asking me to make putu mayam because they say a lot of places they don't really make it. It's not soft enough. In reality, I actually didn't know how to make it. When I asked my grandmother, she didn't know. I asked my mother, she also said, actually, I'm also not sure. A good putu mayam cannot be too springy, cannot be too soft. But then it also has to dissolve in your mouth. It looks simple, but the margin of error is so small because there's only like 3 ingredients: salt, water, and rice flour. It's just getting the water temperature right, how many times you have to stir. Then you overwork, the flour is gone. It took a few months, man.
First up, the rice flour is toasted over a fire to remove moisture. Next, and the most crucial step, adding a very specific degree of hot water to the mix. After it hits the press, it's steamed under high pressure and served sweet or savory.
I would say it's actually a very Singaporean and Malaysian thing. No other country eats putu mayam like that, where it's sugar and coconut. We serve it fresh every day. Even our coconut also, we have it grated fresh every day.
Thank you.
I mean, it's my home lah. I grew up here. It feels like cooking for your family and your friends. It also means you have to keep yourself on your toes because
They are regulars,
Yes.
so once they will definitely be able
Correct.
to detect it.
anything, any one of the sauce, the salt less 5%, they will come and tell me straight.
I deeply respect how Daniel is not only keeping traditions alive, but he's also injecting new energy into it. And now, my final kueh stop, Lempers. Think of it like a sushi roll. Only we are trading seaweed for a banana leaf to wrap a bundle of sticky rice with savory fillings. It's a flavor Carol's been chasing since moving to Singapore at 13 years old.
When we are growing up, my mom will always bring for me lemper. So it's really a growing up snack. There's always something that you miss from home. That's how I started. There is no way I can find one here that is close enough to how it is supposed to be back home.
So I'll make on my own.
Yes. So what I do is I go on Google from one recipe to another recipe, and then I just keep on tweaking recipe, feeding people around me. That's how also the name Ratu Lemper came about. It's like when I enter the house with Lemper, they're all gonna go, hey, Ratu Lemper is here. Ratu means queen. So it's like, oh, the queen of lemper is here.
Carol's shop sells 8 different kinds of lempers with fillings ranging from tuna to beef to mutton. Her favourite lemper ayam pedas, a filling with steamed shredded chicken, braised in coconut gravy, mixed with herbs and aromatics with an added fiery kick.
Chili party.
This whole thing is just chicken. We steam them and then we shred them manually.
This is a lot of work.
So the whole thing, it takes us 2 hours.
So how many lempers do you make a day?
400 to 3,000. Our customers are growing in numbers. So I would assume there are a lot of people who know lemper.
Ready, guys? Your lemper depends on me today. Hold on.
There's no backup. Yay! So this is 25. Like literally I'm measuring
You know, just rolling it, wrapping it.
like us.
Wow, you see, there's a lot of fillings in it. The rice is soft. It's very flavorful. The queen of lemper.
Eating Indonesian lempers with Carol, it hits me just how our cuisine is an ever-expanding universe. Growing richer each time someone chooses to preserve, reinvent, or experiment. To me, this is exactly what defines the soul of Kueh in this city.